Hello everyone, very good evening. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another day. Today is our sixth day, right? So today we'll practice few loops examples. Okay, so we'll get started. Hello everyone, very good evening. Hello everyone, very good evening. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another day. Today is our sixth day, right? I'm going to share my screen. Okay, we'll get started. Okay, so good evening again. Today is 22nd August. Okay, and we will do practice today on if conditions as well as loops. Okay, so today is practice day. Okay, so this is you know this is the basic thing that everybody should know about programming, especially okay. See those who already know some kind of programming, Java, C, C++. I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about people who are new to programming. Okay, they should feel part of it. Okay, they should feel that they are learning something new. Okay, so when you talk about programming, okay, this is the level one. Okay, so what we have done is we have covered first milestone. Okay, first milestone is about conditions and loops where okay you know how to use variables, you know how to input data from the user, you know how to print output on the screen, you know how to run various loops, okay, conditions. Okay, this is first milestone. Okay, so today we'll celebrate our first milestone by practicing. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about anything new today. We're going to talk about okay things which will help us to perform and okay um, learn and practice different things in Python. Okay, okay. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so I want to print, let's say, multiplication table. Okay, okay. First, let's say I want to print multiplication of two numbers, right? So let's say if I put um, number equal to 5 and multiple equal to 10. Okay, if I want to print this, I will say print. Okay, F for format, and I'll say num into multiply equal to num into multiply, right? If I run this, what will I get? I will get 5 into 10, 50, right? Hopefully, I should get 5 into 10, 50, right? Yes, first time collab can take time, okay? So 5 into 10, 50, great. Now what I want to do is I want to make user give us the input. right? So instead of number 5, I'll say int of input, enter the number. Okay, here I'll say int of input, enter the multiple, right? And when we run, it'll ask us, I'm going to say 6 and multiple 12, we'll get 6 and 12, 72. Great. Okay. Now let's say we take multiple of values and we print up to 10 numbers. Okay. So we'll ask the number, but we will not ask the multiple. Okay. We will simply multiply the values, right? So, and we multiply from 1 to 10. Okay. Let's do that. So I'm saying, okay, I will take the same code, I'll paste it here. What did get pasted? I want to copy this one. One second. There's some problem with my keyboard. One second. I don't know what happened here. Please move this window away from shared application. I don't know. You all can see my screen, right? Yes. But I don't know why this has come up. Okay, fine. Let's continue. So here I'm going to copy this. Okay. And I'm going to paste it here. Okay, enter the number, but multiple, we will not ask the user, right? We will do it for first to 10, right? So I'll say for I in range, okay, I can say 1 to 10, or simply I'll say 10, right? I'll say 10, and here number is the number that user has entered, and multiple will be I plus 1, isn't it? Okay, because range will generate values from 0, 1, 2, so on, right? So we don't want 0, 1, 2, right? We want 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why I plus 1, and here it will be num into I plus 1, right? So first we will add 1 to I and then multiply. So when you run it, okay, enter the number 5, you get 1, 2, like 5 into 1, 2, 5 into 10, 50. Great. So this is how we can generate multiplication table of a specific number. Okay, the number I'm inputting from the user and I'm doing it. Now let's modify the same program where we generate multiplication table of 1 to 10. Okay, so here again I'm not going to ask, okay, the user to enter number. I will take, okay, I will take values from 1 to 10. Okay, so I'm going to say here for j in range 10, right? And I want to here say, instead of number, I'll say j plus 1, right? Here too, instead of number, I'll say j plus 1. Okay. Now if I run this, what do we get? So see, so we got, if you go up, you'll see table of 1, table of 2, table of 3, okay, 10. Okay, this is good, but let's make some modification to it. I want the table in one single view. Okay, so that means I'm putting multi-line comment here. So I want, say, 1 into 1 equal to 1, and then here itself I'll say 2 into 1 equal to 2. Here itself I'll say 3 into 1 equal to 3. Sorry, 3. So on. And the last one will be 10 into 1. And then, sorry, 1 into 2 equal to 2. So on. Okay. Here we'll have 1 into 10 equal to 10. This is the format I want. Okay. I hope everybody understood. Okay. I don't want to print one below another. I want to print in next to each other. Okay. I want to print next to each other. I want to print 1 into 1 equal to 1, 2 into 1 equal to 2, so on. Right? Okay. So how do we do that? So see here, when you're trying to print the first row, okay, what is changing? Okay, the first value is changing. So in this case, if you have outer loop, J is outer loop and I is inner loop, correct? Which will change fast? Inner loop will change fast. Okay, J is 0, I will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then J becomes 1, I again starts from 0 to 9. Again J becomes 2, I starts from 0 to 9. J becomes 3, I starts from, so I is moving. And if you see here, okay, here the right side value is moving, correct? So instead of J here, I will put I. Because I is moving, J is slow, right? So I'll put I and then I'll put J. Doesn't matter here, right? I mean, technically here we should say I plus 1 into J plus 1, but multiplication doesn't matter, order doesn't matter, right? Okay. So this is one change we'll make. Second change that we'll make is, when you're printing this entire content, it should be printed in same line, isn't it? So I will go and I will say end. And you want to give some space, let's say we give some 2 spaces or maybe 3 spaces. Now what happens? Everything is printed in one row. But once we are done with I, once we are done with 10, then we should change the line, isn't it? So if I run it now, okay, everything is printed in same row. You see, it went up to the end here. But that's not what we want. After 10, after this, the next one, 1 into 2, should be next line, right? So once the I loop is done, before you perform the J loop, I will say print. Now when I run it, you see, it is printed in this format: 1 into 1, 1 into 2, 1 into 3. This is our 1 table, 2 table, 3 table, 10 table. And all these are done in same view, right? You can actually see all the values. Okay, we are done. Are we done? Not yet. Okay, let's make some more changes to it. What happens if you see here? Okay, from 1 to 9, it is doing, it is perfect. But because 1 into 10 is 10, 2-digit value, so the 2 is not starting from this location. 2 is starting from other location. So it is not looking proper. It's looking like zigzag, right? So instead of making it zigzag, let's make it straight. How do we make it straight? Okay. Now to make it straight, okay, we have to use, okay, we have to give spaces, or we call them as padding. Okay, what it means is, we will assign 2 spaces to this and this, and we'll assign 3 spaces to this. So let me open Paint and tell you what I'm trying to say. So right now we're doing normal print. Okay. So let me do the new share. Okay. So right now what I'm doing, I'm simply saying, okay, 1 into 1 equal to 1. Giving 3 spaces, then saying 2 into 1 equal to 2. Right? So because of which what happens when you say 1 into 10, okay, it is coming this side, and then 2 into 10 is starting from here. Okay, so that's why you are getting zigzag. So what we'll do is we'll give fixed number of spaces. So I will assign 2 spaces for left side value, then into is anyway 1 spaces, then I will assign, okay, 2 spaces for right side value, then 1 space, and then I'll assign 3 spaces for output. So now when we give this number of spaces, so what happens is the next value will start from here. So even if it is 1 into 1, so it will be like 1 into 1 equal to, let's say, 1. So even though it is 1, okay, values are, because it has a fixed spaces, everything will be in straight line. Okay, but how do we give fixed spaces? Okay, so we give fixed spaces using what we call as colon. Okay, I'll show you this. So after this, okay, we put colon. Okay, and what happens is when you put colon, okay, the left side of colon is your values. That's where we enter values. Left side of your colon, we enter values. Right side of colon, we do the formatting. Okay, right side of colon, we do formatting. So I put colon here, and now I'm saying, okay, here, okay, okay, here, okay, and first thing, okay, first thing is that we have to give whether you want to do left alignment or right alignment or center alignment. Okay, we have to do left alignment or right alignment, okay, or center alignment. Okay, so the sign, okay, you know, this is less than sign, correct? So when you say less than sign, we are saying it is left alignment. We are saying numbers go towards left. Okay, go towards left. What does that mean? So if you go back to our paint here for a second. Okay, now in this case, okay, we have option to print 1 in this box or this box. If we do left alignment, we are telling go to the left side, leftmost box. Okay, so if there are empty spaces, it will be on the right hand side. If there are empty spaces, it will be on the right hand side. So you know, it will go to the left, and right side it will be all empty. If you do greater than sign, if you do greater than sign, then we are saying go towards right. So if there are empty spaces, it will be on left hand side. Okay, go towards left. Okay, and empty spaces will be on right hand side. So coming back to our example here, Okay, I'm going to say left side, so I'll say less than, and I will say I'm going to give you two spaces. Okay, J also will give two spaces because that's the maximum that J can go, right? Maximum J can go is 10. I can also go is 10. But this one can go, this can go up to three spaces, isn't it? 100, 10 into 10 is 100. So I'll give three spaces here. Now let's run this and see what happens. Okay. We forgot to give colon. Because you forgot to give colon, J plus 1, is it less than 2? Okay. So it will give you true or false, right? We are doing comparison operator, right? So we have to give colon. Colon indicates left of colon is your values, right of colon is your formatting. Okay, now you see the zigzag is gone, isn't it? It removes one space here so that the values can come closer. You see this? Now it is not zigzag. Okay? Great. So today we have learned how to give padding, formatting. Make sense, everyone? Okay. Shall we do one more example? So now I'm going to talk about uh, we'll talk about um, a menu option, menu kind of option. Okay, that means we are giving option for user to perform certain things. Okay, so we are doing write a program to give options to perform some difference, multiplication, multiplication or division, right? And continue till user wants. Continue till user wants. Okay. Now see here, it did not say how many times. Right. In previous example that we did, we were looking at 10 multiples. Right. So since we're looking at multiples of 10, we use for loop. But here, since we don't know, okay, I'm going to use while condition. Okay, I'm going to use while condition here. So while true, finish, it becomes an infinite loop, right? And we did discuss about break, right? So when user wants to break, only then we will break here. Okay. So now, if I say while true, okay, okay, you can write like that, Sri Krishna. Okay. So let's say I want to give a menu option, right? So I'll say print, please. Okay, we'll put P capital. Please select from below options. Okay, and I'm going to say print one for addition, two for subtraction, okay, three for multiplication, okay, and four for division, okay, and five, let's say, quit. Okay, so we are giving five options, okay, and fifth option is for quit. Now, if I run this, right, all these will come in one single line. So if you want all these options to come in different lines, I'm going to use slash n, right? So I will use slash n here. Okay, so that option comes in different line. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to say choice equal to int of input. Enter your option. Okay, and now based on the ch, based on the cs, okay, you will have to, okay, based on your ch, you have to perform different set of operation, right? So if ch equal to 1, then do something. So what I'll do is, for now I'll write pass, and I will create structure for each of the 4 options or 5 options, and then we'll come back and add a log. Then we will add our logic. Okay. So if ch equal to 1, pass. Elif ch equal to 2, pass. Okay. Elif ch equal to 3, I'm going to say pass. Elif ch equal to 4, I'm going to say pass. Okay. Elif ch equal to 5, I'm going to say pass. Elif ch, okay, 5, right? That's the option. So okay, we will not have a elif, we'll put else directly. Else I'm going to say print invalid. Okay, okay, so invalid option. Okay, invalid option. Okay, because if you enter 1, you have to do addition, 2 for subtraction, 3 for multiplication, 4 for division, and 5 is quit. And if the user enters anything more than 5, we will break. We will go out. You will start from beginning. Okay, you will ask user to select the option again. So I'm going to say invalid option. Okay, please try again. Please try again. And then the loop will repeat. So when there's an invalid option, you want to go back straight to the beginning of the loop. So we'll use command called as continue. Continue will take us to the beginning of the loop. Continue will take us to the beginning of the loop, isn't it? So when we are done, when we do not want to, when the invalid user, when we get invalid input from the user, that means we need to start the loop again, isn't it? So we'll say continue. And if the user says quit, simply put break. Now we are going out of the while loop. We're going out of the loop. Okay. So when I run this, so we'll have select the option. Okay. So addition, subtraction, I want to perform addition. We haven't added the logic yet. We'll have to add the logic. Okay. So you have option 1. Okay. 2. Okay. Fine. When I say something else, will I say 6? So invalid option, please try again. Right? Now when I want to quit, I'll say 5 and I am out of the loop now. See, the program has ended. Okay. Now we have to use our logic, okay, here to build the respective requirement. If the requirement is to, add 2 numbers, we have to add our logic here to add 2 numbers, isn't it? So here I'm going to say num1 equal to int of input, enter first number, correct? Then we'll say num2 equal to, I'm going to go to end, copy this and say enter second number, right? And then we will say print, okay? And these are the things that will be common for all the four options that we have, right? Multiplication, addition, division. So I'm going to put this structure here. And now I'm going to say addition of, okay, so I'll use F here, addition of num1 and num2 is num1 plus num2. Okay, even this we can copy and paste, right? So let us move, copy this and paste this as well. So I'm going to put it here, here, and put it here. Okay. Now here, last one is division. Division of num1 by num2 is num1 divided by num2. Multiplication of num1 and num2 is num1 into num2. Okay. Difference of num1 and num2 is num1 minus num2. I think we have filled in the logic. Okay. Now see, the logic could be anything. Logic could be anything. Towards the end, we'll talk about a project. Okay. We'll talk about a library management project. Okay. And then we'll see, we create a menu where we'll be doing different stuff like adding a book to the dictionary, removing the book from the dictionary, okay, adding a user when new user joins your library, right? So you need to create, you have to enter membership number, right? And then you have to give the book, issue the book, return the book. The different logic for every option, a particular logic will be called. Okay, so we'll do it later. But see, this is how you create a menu kind of structure. So you'll have a infinite loop where you'll say while true, okay, and if there is a request for break, you will put break, right? Request to end the loop. Now you are done. Let's say it's done. End of the day, you want to go home, right? So you will stop the program, right? So that's how you break the program. Now, if there's an invalid option, that means you have to start from beginning again. If there's invalid option, you have to go back and start from beginning, isn't it? So you'll say continue. Continue means again you are going to the beginning of the program and you are doing it again. Okay. Okay, and then you can fill whatever logic. Okay, here I have taken simple logic just to show you how it works. You can have different kinds of logic. Okay, and when we are doing, right, tomorrow, this week our focus is to learn additional data structure, data types. So tomorrow we'll start with string, then we'll do list, tuple, dictionary, sets, etc. With that, we'll have even more stuff to do. Okay. Okay. Let's run this program. So I want to perform addition. So I'll say 1. Enter first number 45, second number 55. You get 100. Addition of 45, 55 is 100. Option, I'll say 2. I gave -2. So -2 is invalid option, isn't it? So try again. So I gave 2. First number 55, second number 65. So you get -10, correct? Now let's try the third option. I gave 23 first num and 43 second num. So what happened? It is 989. Let's try fourth option, division. So I'm going to say 25 divided by 8. So it is 25 by 8, 3.125. Okay. And then option 5, let's say I want to quit. Okay. So I'll say 5. And when you hit 5, okay, program has ended. Okay. So this is how you can, okay, use while to create infinite kind of structure. Okay. Keep looking out for the link, okay, the where all the materials are kept. Okay. Soon I'm going to add, I will add more examples there, some examples with solved questions and some unsolved questions. Okay. So please practice from the same link. Okay. uh, okay. Okay. So I don't know if you have not seen it. Okay, this is the, I'm pasting the link in the uh, YouTube. Okay, this is where all the notes, video links, okay, are there. So please log in tomorrow. By tomorrow, you should have more examples to practice. Okay. So before we move to next topic, Sai Krishna has asked about one line if and one line for loop. I'll talk about that before we end today's session. But before we get into that, let's talk about one more example. Okay. Let's talk about one more example. Okay, so in this example, I want to create a game. I want to create a game, okay, or we call it guessing game. Okay, let's develop a guessing game. So what is this? We will let computer think of a number, and we will guess that number. Okay. So for example, we'll say computer number equal to 50. So computer has thought of a number 50. Now you have to guess the number, right? So I'm saying guess number equal to 45. Now in this case we have not guessed the number correctly, isn't it? We have not guessed the number correctly. So we have to give we have to give proper message, right? We need to give proper message. Okay, whether we have got it right or not, proper message has to be given, right? So how to give proper message? So I'm going to check if guess number is equal to computer number, right? That means we have guessed it right? So print, you have guessed the number correctly. Okay. Else we'll say print sorry. And here we put say congratulations, something like that. Make it more dramatic. Congratulations, you have guessed the number correctly, right? And here says sorry, you your guess is wrong. You did not get it right. So okay, now when I run it, computer number is 50 and your guess number is 45. Obviously you did, uh, you did not, right? Okay, so obviously we could not get it right. Now let's say we play a game where you keep on guessing till you get it right. So we keep on guessing, right? So every time you run, you have to check whether the number that you have thought of or your guessed is same as computer number or not. So here you see, we'll have to create a loop, right? See, when you're checking just one value, we don't need loop. No, if is good enough. But now when you have to check multiple values, isn't it? Now we have to check multiple values, right? We don't know when we might guess it correctly. Okay, we can guess it correctly in one attempt also. We can guess it in multiple attempt also. Okay, right? So we don't know how many attempts we will need. In such case, obviously we have to use while, isn't it? So I'm going to put while, and the guess number has to be in while, right? Every time you have to guess if you don't get it right. So I'm going to put while true. Okay, and I'm going to move all these inside while. Okay, and guess will take the input from the user. Okay, so int input, and I'm saying enter the number. Okay, so it is a infinite loop. When do you break this loop? When you get it right, correct? When you get it right, you should break the loop. So I'm breaking it when you get it right, and when you get it wrong, you don't break it, right? You have to continue. So let's run it and see the output. So enter the number. Okay, 50 is the computer number. So I am guessing, let's say 45. Sorry, you did not get it right. I'm saying 65. Sorry, you did not get it correct. Correct? So you have to keep on trying till it is correct. So now let's say I put 50 here. Congratulations, you have guessed the number correctly. Right? So now, we have given some form to it. Okay? Some form to it. Let's keep on building. Let's keep on adding new features to it. Next feature I want to build to this app is, this is our application, right? I created a small, simple game. We'll keep on adding more features to it. So next feature that we want to add to it is, it should tell us, okay, when you get it right, it should tell us, how many iteration did you take to guess it correctly. Okay, so I'll create something called as counter. Okay, and whenever you are guessing the number, right, whenever you are inputting, that is like one chance, correct? Every time you guess a number, it is one chance. Okay, so just below guess, I'm going to say counter plus equal to 1. That means I'm guessing. Okay, and you have used one chance, and when you get it right here, you have guessed the number correctly. Okay, in so many attempts, right? So I'll put F here, format, and I'm going to say counter here. Okay, so now let's play this game again. So I'm going to guess 45. Obviously we didn't get it correct. 55, we didn't get it correct. Okay, now I'm going to guess it right, 50. So how many attempts did we take? 3 attempts, right? Let's see. Yes. Okay, so we got it right in 3 attempts. Okay, now let's add one more feature to it. Let's add one more feature on top of it. Next feature is that when you don't get it correct, let's give a hint. Okay, let's give a hint whether the number that we have thought of or what we are guessing, is it higher or lower than the actual number. So else you didn't get it right. Now I'm going to check if guess num is greater than computer number. If guess number is greater than computer number, that means we'll say int you have thought of, you have your number. Let's say something like this. We'll say your number is higher than the actual number. Correct? So that's a hint. We have guessed a higher number. So now what it is tell you is think of a number less than this. Okay? Think of a number less than this. Okay. Now if it is else, okay, else hint is that our number is lower, right? So we have to think of a higher number. So your number is lower than the actual number. Okay, now let's run this and see. It's getting interesting, isn't it? We'll keep on, we'll make it even more interesting. Just wait. Enter number, we'll say 45. It says, sorry, you did not get it correct. Your number is lower than the actual number. That means now we have to think of a higher number, correct? So I'm going to think of a higher number, 55. Your number is higher than the actual number. That means we have to think of a lower number, right? So we say 50. Now you see, we have guessed the number correctly in 3 attempts. Awesome. Now let's make it even more interesting. Okay. So here, see, we are entering the value 50, correct? We are entering the value 50. So we know that is 50 and we are playing according to it. Now let's make it really a computer number. Let computer think of that number and we will not know. Okay, we will not know what number computer has thought. How can we do it? So we have, okay, let me put one here for now. We have a module called as random. Okay, I'm going to say import random. Random module, okay, it has okay, functions that deal with random numbers. Okay, so random is a function that has, random is a module that has many functions, okay, which generates random number. One of the function that will be helpful for us is called random int. So I'm going to say random dot random int. Rand int, okay, not random int. Rand int, okay. So random is a module and there's a function called rand int. So in random int, okay, we are going to generate, okay, we need to give lower value and higher value and it generates a random number between those two values. Okay, so I'm going to say random dot random int and here it takes two values 1 comma 100. So it is going to generate a random number between 1 and 100. Okay, it's going to generate random number between 1 and 100 and we don't know which number. Okay, every time we run it, computer will think of a different number, isn't it? So now when you run it, we really don't know what number computer has thought of, isn't it? So let's guess. I'm going to say 50. So we didn't get it correct. Your number is lower. That means computer has thought of a number which is more than 50. So let me say 80. So our number is higher than 80. That means computer has thought of a number between 50 and 80. Okay, so I'm going to say 75. So your number is higher. That means our number is higher. So it is between 50 and 75. So I'm going to say 60. So your number is higher. 60 is higher, right? So it's between 50 and 60. I'm going to say 55. Okay. Our number is higher. So it is between 50 and 55. So let me say 52. Okay. Our number is lower. So it's either 53 or 54. Let me put 53. Okay. Our number is lower. So it has to be 54. Now you see, we got it right. Okay. And how many attempts did we take? It will tell us. We took 8 attempts to guess the number. We took 8 attempts to guess the number. Okay, so this is how you can play a game. Okay, let's do one thing. Okay, we will take the same example. Okay, and now we will make computer play with computer. Okay, that means, okay, when, okay, this is instead of we entering the value, okay, we will, okay, we will let random dot random, okay, we will let computer only think of that number, guess that number. Instead of we guessing it, let computer play with computer. Computer will guess the number, and then again computer will guess the number again. So here we see I'm saying random, so this is the computer number, and guess number I'm saying 1 comma 100. So every time we run it, it is going to guess a number between 1 and 100. Okay, so when we run it, so I'm going to say and let computer guess that number. Okay, so in this case, okay, we'll run it. So let's see how many attempts did it take. Oh my god, 59 attempts. Okay, now you tell me, what do you see, what do you think is the wrong, what is wrong with this program? Okay, obviously this program is not efficient. When we were guessing, okay, we guessed it right in 8 attempts, but this computer took 59 attempts to guess. What is wrong? Wrong here is, okay, which is not correct here is, every time we are guessing between 1 and 100. See, when we were guessing, when it said that 50 is higher, okay, then we made sure that next time we don't think of 50 and above. We have to think number below 50, correct? So we have to think of a number below 50, right? And when I said 10 and they say that number 10 is lower than the actual number, then we will not think below 10. We'll think above 10 only. But here what is happening, okay, since we say random, even though number is 50 is higher, it is going to think of a number more than 50. It will think 70, 80. So this is not according to the way we should work. So what we have to do is, this low and high value should change based on the condition. So to begin with, for the first time when you're running the program, the low and high should be 1 comma 100, right? Because when you're running the program, you don't know what is the value. So you will start thinking of a random value between 1 and 100. Okay, so I'm making it low, high. Okay, but when we are here, right, here we know what is happening. Now here what it means is, the number that we have thought of, guess number is higher. That means actual number is lower. Maybe example is, let's say the guess number is 50 is higher, that means actual number is less than 50, correct? So in this case, high should be, okay, high should be guess number minus 1, correct or not? High should be guess number minus 1. You have said 50, but 50 is higher. So it should be less than 50, which is 49. So we are changing the high based on the previous value. Similarly, here, when we say that our number is lower, we should not think of a number lower than that number. So I'm going to say lower equal to guess number plus 1. If 10 is lower, you should think 11 and above, not less than 10. So we are changing the low and high value based on prediction. That's how we actually played the game, right? That's how we actually played the game. We want it to play the game like that. So now when you run it, let's see, it also guessed in 8 attempts. We also guessed in 8 attempts. This also guessed in 8 attempts. Let's play it again. Okay, 14 attempts. But definitely is more than less than 59 attempts that it took, right? 10 attempts. Okay, 7 attempts, right? So it is interesting, isn't it? We are making computer guess and you know computer itself to play with computer, right? So this is a small game that we have developed. Any questions on this? Okay. So today our intention was to practice some for loop, if else. Okay, show you. So this is how we actually build our programs. Okay, you cannot think of 20 lines, 100 lines, 1,000 lines, 10,000 lines on day one itself. You have to start with somewhere. Okay, so for those who are doing programming for the first time, you have to start it somewhere. Okay, somewhere you should start. Write first code, then add second, then add third, fourth, so on. You start building it. Okay. So when you get a problem to do, first you break it down to different levels. So here I had a problem of guessing the number, right? So first I said, okay, let me only guess the number, let me only think of the number and let me only guess the number. Then we did for one iteration. Okay, we did not put loop, we just did if else. Then we added loop. We want to do it for multiple iteration. We added a loop. Then we added one extra feature to count how many attempts did we take. Then we gave the hint lower or higher. Right? Then we made it random. So slowly we kept on building and running our model. Okay. So these are the examples that I wanted to practice today. So hopefully you all understood how loops work, how conditions work. Very important concepts for us. Okay, all the logic you can build based on if and loops. Okay, this is itself is an application, right? What do you mean deploy? This itself is an application, right? You run it wherever you want to run it. Okay. So now, Sai Krishna had asked question before, how to do, because what his question is, you can actually, okay, write, okay, if conditions and loop condition in one line. Okay. So let's say situation, okay, I'm going to say one line if condition. So let's say you have a condition here. Okay. So let's say I have a number num equal to 10 and if num greater than 0, I'm going to say print positive, right? And else, okay, we'll say print not positive. Okay, so see, when you have only one line condition, okay, if you have multiple lines here, right? If you are doing 5, 6 line of code, then we cannot use one line if condition. One line if condition is used only when you have only one condition to look for. So in this case, if I say 0 num equal to 0, what do you get? Not positive, right? Output will be not positive. So such situation, okay, such situation where you have one condition, or sorry, not one condition, where you have condition which does one line of instruction, we can modify this as, okay. So see here, line number 4 and line number 6, we have only one condition, right? Sorry, only one line when condition is true or false. So what we can do is we can rewrite line number 3 to 6 as, we can rewrite line number 3 to 6 as, okay, say output equal to, okay. So here I'm going to say if num greater than, if num is greater than 0, right? If num greater than 0, right? If num is greater than 0, then you don't say colon. You say what should happen? It should print positive. Got it? If condition, we don't put colon, instead that one line whatever you have supposed to do should be in the beginning. Okay, if condition no colon, but whatever you want to do should be in the beginning. Now you say else. Else what? Not positive. So you say not positive. So this value will go to output. So if this condition is true, it will take the previous value. If this condition is false, else it will go to not positive. Okay. Now you can simply print or do whatever you want to do with the output. So see, both is going to give us same answer. If I make it 10, you will get positive. So this is how you handle one line, okay, if. Similarly, we have one line loop also. Okay. Okay. Just like we have one line if, we have one line loop also. So let's say um, um, okay, let's say we'll take which example? We'll take um, example where we need to print number from 1 to 10, right? We need to print number from 1 to 10. So if loop is for loop 0 to 10, and we print 1 to 10. So here you have to learn little bit about list. Okay, list is way to store multiple values. Okay, and that's our next topic. We are anyway going to do that. So in one line, okay, let me add extra code here. I'm going to say one line loop example. Okay, so how do you do that? So you have loop here. So I'm going to say for, okay, for, okay, I in range 10. For I in range 10. Correct? Now I want to generate 1 to 10 numbers, right? So I'll say for I in 11, 1 comma 11. So for I in range 1 comma 11, right? Just like we said condition, right? If condition, don't put colon here. For I in range, don't put colon. Instead, you put whatever you want to do before. So I want to print I. So you put I before for. Okay, because it's going to generate multiple values. Okay, so if I say output here, okay, since it's going to have multiple values, we cannot have single variable to store all this. We have to use square bracket. Square bracket is a list we'll talk about later. Is creating a list we will discuss later this week. Okay, so now when you print it, okay, now when you print it, print output, you will get 1 to 10. Let's see, you get 1 to 10. Correct? Now let's look at Krishna's question. Okay. Now, Krishna says, okay, now Krishna, in your case, it will not work because, okay, you know, so what you have done, let me see your, so let me type your program. What you have said is n equal to int of input, right? And the next line you have said for I in range n, fine, and you are saying s equal to n into n into I plus 1, I plus 1 equal to I plus 1. Okay, s equal to n into I plus 1 and print s, right? This is what you said, right? Print s, correct? So when you run it, so I'm going to input 5, right? So it's saying n into I plus 1, correct? 5 into 1, 5 into 2, 5 into 3. It's correct only, no, Krishna? So I don't know why you're getting, I don't know why you're getting error. This is the code that you have sent in the chat, right? So this is working correct. See, you cannot say variable, so how can you say I plus 1 equal to I plus 1? You cannot say a plus 1 equal to plus 1. Okay, you cannot say you can plus 1 equal to plus 1. Can I say, okay, now you're saying something like this, right? How can you say something equal to something? Can I say 5 into 6 equal 5 into 6 equal to 7 into 6? No, this you cannot say, right? You cannot say like that. How can 5 into 8 or 5 into 6 be equal to 7 into 6? Left side, you should have a single variable A, B. See, if you are doing equal to, it should be in quotation, isn't it? It should be in quotation. Okay, if you are trying to do something like this, you have to put in quotation, isn't it? If this is what you are trying to do, you have to put in quotation, print, okay, print like this. Okay, now if you run it like this will print n into n plus 1. So we have to create the format, isn't it? We have to create the format. What is the format? You have to say f and then put this in curly bracket. Put this in curly bracket. So now you will get whatever it is, okay? This is how you have to put, okay? Now I know you can correct this. Now you can correct this one, okay? Thank you so much, everyone. We'll stop here. So I just did it. No, I did it in the first program. So you are saying, okay, so n. So you have to say n. Oh, sorry, not here. Here, n. So you say n into I plus 1. This will be in curly bracket. Done. So n into I plus 1, right? So n into I plus 1 equal to, and then n into I plus 1. This is how you should do it. Okay? This is how You can do it. Don't talk about set and don't talk about list. We are doing. We are not. We will do it later. Okay. So this is how your program will work. Fine. Any questions, anyone, before we end? Okay, everyone. Take care. Have a good evening. Please refer that link. Okay. Today I'm going to upload few assignments. Okay. So do those assignments as well. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Good night. And we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock. And I'm going to start new topic. Okay. We'll talk about strings, how to work with strings. That's the topic for tomorrow. Okay. Bye, everyone. Take care.